What's up, guys? Back with another video. So today we'll talk about peace, chasing peace rather than success, rather than love, rather than money, rather than fame. To chase peace. Man, peace is a different feeling. You know, it's so much different from getting money. You know, like, I believe when you find peace, that's when everything else comes into place. That's when everything slots into place, when you find peace. So finding peace is a slow game. It's something that you need to do the work on yourself in order to gain it. To gain peace, you need to break down what is broken and slowly fix it up, slowly heal and repair within yourself. I don't know what kind of problems it's going to be in your life. It's different for everybody. But we all have wounds, right, that we need to attend in order to find peace. And if you don't heal these wounds, you're never going to feel peace, because you're always going to be behaving from this state of woundedness. If we don't heal the wounds, we're going to be hurting all the time. So how do you do that? It's reflecting on what it is that's hurting us. What is it that's hurting you, that's making you behave this way? You know, because we can talk about game, talk about how to get girls, we can talk about how to get money, we can talk about how to get fame. But at the end of the day, the things that are blocking you from achieving your goals, I'm not saying you should try and achieve these things, but the things that are going to stand in the way of you achieving your goals, whatever that may be, is your wounds. So for some people, it's mommy issues, it's daddy issues that stems from a person's childhood. We have to revisit our memories, you know, as an adult. And you can't be doing this shit while you're on drugs. You can't be doing this while you've got an alcohol problem. You can't be doing this while you're addicted to something, because when you're smoking cigarettes, you're addicted to some kind of substance. You're jamming that like a dummy. It's like a dummy, bro. It's like a pacifier. That's what that is. That's why cigarettes are so addictive. What do you think the pacifier does for a baby? For an infant? It calms them down. They can chew on it. They can suck on it. You know, and it calms them down. It calms down the nervous energy. And that's what you're doing with a cigarette. You can't face the wounds. You can't attend those wounds properly when you're just wounding yourself. First of all, a lot of these habits that people have, they're addictive and they're harmful towards your lungs. And it's weakness. As a man, to smoke, to be addicted to something is weak, brother. It's weak. Okay, you don't want anything to master you. Don't allow anything to master you. That's what it says in the Bible, right? So you can't be attending your wounds when you're addicted to a substance. Revisit the wounds. There's a whole bunch of things, resources we can look at. There's I think his name's Tom. He wrote a book called NLP, Neuro-Linguistic Programming. It's a purple book. Inside that book, he comes to a point where you actually revisit those memories inside your past, and you can actually alter them. And it does help. It helps a lot. If you need resources, use that. That's a really good book. It's worth buying. Neuro-linguistic programming is used within media, in the news, and they use that to program people. You can do that to reprogram your own mind. I'm not saying make it a religion, make it something that you're absolutely obsessed with, but use it as a tool. Same as it's easy way to quit smoking. I can't remember his name now. Something Carr. Jimmy Carr or something like that. Anyway, he does easy way to quit smoking and easy way to quit drinking. The techniques inside that book are insane, bro. It helped me it empowered me. It put me in an empowered place to actually quit smoking. And I did for 3 years. And then I took up smoking again because obviously I was on and off drugs. So this is why I keep rehashing. Don't do drugs, man. When you're revisiting these places in your memory, in your past, you don't want to be on drugs. You don't want to be smoking cigarettes because it's just, you're coping, brother. You're coping, you know what I mean? You can revisit those memories, but then you can light up a cigarette to feel better about it. It's weak. You want to feel everything. That pain is yours to feel. Nobody else can feel it for you. And when you got to understand mentally, when you're putting a cigarette to your mouth, or you're vaping, or you're drinking, or you're doing some sort of drugs, you're stopping yourself from feeling these things and healing as a man. True men, they're going to feel all the bad things that they have to feel. If you're angry, you have to feel that. If you're sad, you have to feel that. If a memory in your past brings you guilt, you have to feel that. You have to revisit that, man. If you don't, it's going to internalize. And you're going to act from that place of guilt and shame and hurt and anger. And you're going to bleed over everybody. You're going to act, it's going to hinder you from achieving your goals. This is the one thing that's stopping you from feeling peace, man. And it's the same as your environment. If you're in an environment where you're around your mom, your dad, some of your siblings or your uncles and stuff, they knew you as a little kid, it's going to be really hard for you to grow as a man because they know you as a little boy. All right. So you might face heavy criticism from them, unwarranted comments that are just going to put you in a place of anger or sadness or shame or guilt, you know, especially if you haven't got a supportive family. If you do have a supportive family, that's great. I'm happy for you, man. Then keep at it and do your thing. Keep growing as a man with your family behind you. But a lot of us guys, we actually don't have that kind of support. A lot of the people in our family are just as hurt as us. And this is a part of growth. Okay, understanding this. This is a part of maturity, to understand that other people are hurt. So then when they make comments towards you, right? When they make those comments towards you, you can understand that comes from a place of hurt, or that comes from a place of anger. That comes from a place that's unhealed within that person. That's a part of your growth. To be able to come to a point where you can actually listen to somebody say something over the phone or maybe in front of your face. They say something that was probably intended to hurt you and you just don't take offense to it. That's a place of peace. It's almost like, oh, I know that intended to hurt. I feel sorry for you. It's not to say that, but within you, you can feel bad for the person. This is some of the same techniques that is in the easy way to quit smoking, right? I'll give you a little bit of a peek into the book. So he tells you to pity people who are smoking, all right? So he doesn't tell you to quit immediately, right? So while you're reading the book, he tells you to light up a cigarette while you're reading if you really want to. And that's what I did. I was smoking while I was reading. This was great, man. I was just like, and then eventually I just put out my last cigarette. I put it out. There was a point where just like, yes, damn, that's it. I'm a non-smoker. I chose to be a non-smoker from there on. Because he tells you to use these techniques, right? To pity those who are smoking. Because it is literally killing themselves. They have no self-control, right? And it's the same for people who are making comments like that towards you, your family and whatnot. They can sense the peace within you, right? They can sense the peace within you. When you get it, you'll understand, okay? That they can sense the peace within you. So pity them. It helps you stay out. It helps you from getting infected from their mindset, because you can. There's a reason why the 48 laws of power tells you to avoid the miserable or something like that. You don't want to be around miserable people because it's infectious. You know, you become infected with that disease when you're around it. You start listening to them complain. You're like, oh, yeah. It happens at all jobs, man. Last job that I was at, you know, they had like a culture of like bickering and like all jobs, you know, everyone was bickering and complaining about everything, and eventually I just followed suit. I became like them. You don't want to become like them. When you're at a job, you want to go eat separately. Go eat on your own. Warm your food up in the microwave and go into your car and eat there. You know what I mean? Don't sit around the table and bicker with them. Don't listen to it, because you become infected and eventually you become like them. All right? So you want to avoid that so you can attend your wounds. This is how you feel peace. And trust me, when you feel the peace, there's nothing like it. All right? You can learn better. Your cognition is 100% better. You don't have to struggle to learn anymore, because everything just comes naturally. You don't have to struggle for gym anymore, to lose weight anymore, because everything comes naturally, because you're at peace within yourself. There's nothing you're holding on to. You've tended to all the wounds. You're not hurting anymore internally. So you don't have to hurt outside anymore. It's the greatest thing. When you finally feel it, man, you get it. But it takes honesty. It takes honesty and patience with yourself and others. You have to be patient with you, firstly, and then with others as well. To treat people with care, to treat people with kindness. I had this bro at work one time when I first started working there on the night shift. It was my first day on the job and I wasn't told anything. And I'm like, oh, what do I do? He just gave me a quick rundown, a few words. It was a really loud environment to work in. I'm like, okay, yeah, sweet. And I started doing my job, and he came up to me and he's like, man, you have to pick up your pace. Do you even want to work here? Well, mate, nobody's told me what to do. Like, you've barely told me anything, man. What do you want me to do? And he said, oh, well, nobody taught me what to do. Why should I teach you what to do? I had to learn for myself. And I'm like, it doesn't have to be like that for me. What do you mean? I don't know what to do, mate. I get it. You need to be attentive at work. But still, you don't want to be that guy that's so angry and so frustrated that you're not willing to teach others. You're not willing to look past other people's wounds. You got to see people where they're at, because you find that a lot of people that you're actually insecure about, those big guys in the gym, I don't care how big he is, everybody has an insecurity. Everybody has a sore spot. You can be the biggest guy in the room, the biggest chat in the room, but when another guy can activate his insecurities, he becomes the smallest man in the room, the weakest man in the room. I've seen it happen to the biggest guys. I've seen it happen to the most handsome guys. They become like little boys, start embarrassing themselves. So that's why you need to get in that mindset to see people where they're at. Okay, that everybody that you see has some sort of wound. Everybody that you meet, everybody that you see in the gym, everybody you see at work, I don't care how confidently they move, everyone has a wound. It's not up to us to activate it, but it's us to heal our own wounds. We're not in competition with anybody, but we do have a duty. We do have a duty here to heal our own wounds, so we're not bleeding over everybody else. So then we can go and achieve what we want to achieve. That peace that you find, that inner peace from healing your wounds, that you finally find, you're going to be able to select a woman. You don't just have to accept what comes at you. She doesn't choose you, you choose her. You have options then. You get to choose. You're not just sleeping with girls because you want to have sex. You're so past that. You're not just accepting jobs and accepting where you work at because, oh brother, I need the money. No, bro. You can put up with it for a little bit, but then when the job isn't good for you anymore, you can say, that's it. I'm done. I'm done. I know I'm worth more. When you find that peace, you have the confidence to do these things. You know what's good for you and you know what's not good for you. Same for your body. You can look at yourself honestly and say, okay, I'm really not happy with how I am. I'm not fit. I'm struggling to breathe when I walk. I need to get in the gym. You don't just need to get in the gym. You do get in the gym because you find that peace. And it does start with a little bit of gym here and there. But I know some guys, man. I know some guys that are just fit as, but they have demons, bro. They have demons. Look at this Connor guy, the Chad guy. May God rest his soul. But this guy, he had some demons, bro. This looks maxer. He had some demons. He didn't heal those wounds that he needed to heal, did he? No, he didn't. No matter how good you look, bro, no matter how much money you got, my brother, or no matter how famous you are, time has proven these things over and over again. Look at all the celebrities that are just themselves, that are just overdosing. I've got to cut that out. Don't let it happen to you. Heal yourself. And then you'll find that a lot of the things that you are chasing, okay, once you heal yourself, you'll find that a lot of the things you are chasing are actually not what you want. You probably actually don't want what you want. I wanted an R1. I wanted a sports bike. I wanted the fastest sports bike when I was in the Gold Coast. Why? Because I wanted to look like a bad motherfucker. And I wanted to pick up chicks. But little did I know, that was a place of scarcity. That's not abundance, to need a bike to pick up chicks. Nah, bro. It might work. It might work really well. I know it does. Girls love bikers. But at the end of the day, a lot of these guys need a lot of healing. Okay, when they walk in and you know that's the biker guy, you know, like they dress up like that for a reason. You know, they all look the same for a reason. That's what's in, you know what I mean? And if they're going to be chasing that, if they're going to be actively doing that, right, it means that they're in a place of scarcity. It's the same these people that get tattoos everywhere, bro. Like, brother, what? You know, I seen this thing, like it was like this tattoo on this guy's neck at the gym, and it was so symmetrical. It was like this sun and the rays, you know, and it was like so symmetrical. It looked great, but I'm thinking, damn, all that effort for a tattoo you can't even see. You can't even see that, brother. Like, you can't even see behind your neck. You did that for other people. You did that for someone else. And people, oh, it's art. That's not art. That's attention seeking, bro. You're permanently marking your body so other people can view you differently. That's not inner peace. That's not inner peace. That's why you look at all these people, they spend like almost like maybe tens of thousands of dollars to get all these tattoos on themselves, and they're covered from neck to toe. Right? And what happens? What happens? Their wife leaves them. They lose half of what they got. That's what happens. They lose half of everything. Their woman leaves them, leaves with the baby. Okay, they lose their job, and they're back on welfare. And it's just a dork, bro. They got all these tattoos and nothing behind them. I got tattoos too, yeah? But I got them for what? I got them for other people, bro. Not for me. I didn't mark my body for me. I marked it for other people. Yeah, I marked it so I could look like a badass. But is that what makes a badass? No, brother. No. You got to recognize these things, man. When you're at a place of being healed, okay, you can see this in others. And then you make better decisions. Okay, you stop being a goofy ass. Right, you stop saying all this crap in front of women because you want to impress them. I don't got to impress anybody. But I know who I got to impress, okay? It's the people who are paying me, right? Who are putting money in my pocket. And God. That's it. That's all I got to impress. Okay, I don't got to impress my wife. I don't got to impress my girlfriend. You don't want to impress anybody, really, except for the person who's putting money in your wallet. And even then, you don't want to go so much out of your way. Okay? All this other shit, you're doing it to impress other people, man. You're doing it to impress other people. This guy got a freaking tattoo on the back of his neck. Can't even see it. You can't even see it, brother. You permanently marked your body. How much did you pay? How much thousands of dollars did you pay to get a tattoo that you can't even see? You truly think how ridiculous that is? And unhealed people, unhealed women will be like, oh, that's hot. Oh, baby, that's hot. I love a guy with tats. It's like, they don't realize. They don't realize. And then they get with the guy, okay? He ends up becoming a simp because he hasn't done the inner work. And then they leave him. And then they leave him. You're left with your dick in your hands. What are you doing then? All those tattoos, you look like a freaking dork, bro. Yeah, it was badass 10 years ago, but now I bet you regret it. Yeah, people, it's more accepting. You see guys walking in with face tattoos and shit like that into jobs, and it's more accepted in today's day. But the point still stands. The point still stands. If you truly can read a room, that it's insecurity. It's insecurity. All these things, it's insecurity. When they're wearing the tight pants, a woman walks into the gym, she's wearing like all pink, tight clothing with the pink headband. It's like, damn, bro. I'm not impressed. I'm like, how could you walk out of the house like that? Like, you don't understand that that's like screaming attention? I need attention? Like, you're bright pink. You know what I mean? It's unhealed wounds. All of this stuff is unhealed wounds. It's a place of not being healed. You don't want to be there. Heal your shit, my brothers. Okay? Heal your shit. You don't need to impress nobody. You need to heal your wounds. You need to visit your old hurts. Okay? And when you visit it, face them properly. Don't be using substances. I've known so many people to destroy their lives because they get addicted to substances. All right, so don't do that. I hope this has been a bit of a longer one. All right, it is what it is. Okay, I'm gonna try to cut it down as much as I can, but yeah. God bless, guys. I'll see you on the next one.